Well, I got the camper loaded up and it's time for another camping trip here on Pop-Up Life. We had originally planned to go over to St. Mary's on the east coast of Georgia to a state park called Crooked Island, I believe. Had originally planned to go there this weekend, had a slight or kind of big change in plans at the last minute. We canceled that one and we're going to the Suwannee River, going to the I think it's called the Spirit of the Suwannee Music Park over there. Going to go check that out. They have a nice little Christmas lights display going on over there, and that makes it about an hour-and-a-half trip as opposed to a 4-hour trip, which is always nice, staying a little closer to home. The kids and the wife aren't with me right now. They're going to be coming a little later. That's the advantage of a short trip. So Abram's still in school. Once he gets out of school here in a little bit, they'll be on the way. I'm going to go ahead and dig out, go get set up. It is cold, and it's going to be cold this weekend. It's going to be one of those weekends where we just have a fire burning all day, which is what I like. And we're going to try even more than we did on the last trip. I'm going to try to do some more campfire cooking, maybe some ribs, some chicken, all that good stuff. So y'all stay tuned for that. And I'm here. We are here at Site 51. About as close to the bathroom as we can get. There's not a whole lot of people here this weekend. You can see a ton of camping sites. They're open, so I kind of pulled this one halfway between 51 and 51A. Best kind of arrangement I could figure for the camper. No official fire pits here. Looks like you just build a fire wherever you want it. I got room for the awning right there. And it's a good bit warmer here than it was back home, probably 10 degrees or so. But anyway, let's get this thing popped up before the wife and kids get here. So Brooklyn and the kids finally made it.
We made it.
We got our lights up. We got, watch out.
Watch out.
We got Woody back there. I want to show Woody. We got some Christmas music playing.
Mom tried to give me some Christmas lights before we left, and I was like in such a hurry. I was like, no. I wish I would have grabbed them.
Yeah. One thing with kids, especially under 5. There's one. Hello, Ty. The first night of camping is always the craziest. For some reason, it takes them like a day to adjust to just being outside and being like wild animals. And they pretty much act like wild animals for the first 18 hours or so. The first night getting them to sleep's tough. And the rest of the days are good because they're plenty tired. But the drive here and getting them tired enough to go to bed that first night can be a little tricky. Isn't that right, Tata?
Yeah. Why you act so wild?
Some Cheetos accidentally fell down.
We have a Cheeto emergency.
So Cheetos have accidentally fell down, and it was worth.
Alert the police.
Yeah, tell everybody. Tell everybody.
Yeah.
It's a good thing there's hardly anybody here.
We are the loudest crew.
We are the loudest. I heard you, Bubby. We'll fix it in a minute, okay?
A little bit.
Okay, thank you.
What did you say?
He's just trying to zip my face.
Oh yeah. Is Mama cold?
Yeah.
I mean, it's cold here, but not near as cold as it was back home. It's crazy how driving an hour
You
south.
think?
I noticed it a good bit once I got here.
I don't know. It felt cold. I had to stop and do a Target pickup for a hat. I own no hats.
It's a cute hat you got there.
Thanks. I got the boys some stuff too.
Alright, we're about to get some supper going, some adult supper.
Yes.
Kids got something on the way in, and we'll see what that looks like here. So as I mentioned to you earlier, we were planning on doing a good bit of over the fire cooking this weekend, but this here kind of throws a little kink in our plans. Had to draw a little circle around here to make a boundary for the kids, but we don't have a fire pit. We don't have a rack there to cook on like we normally have. Every campground we've been to recently had one. This one here just had a spot with some coals there, so I kind of knew where to put my fire, but no designated spot. So that kind of changes things a little bit after all the meat we bought, but I think we've got a plan here. Thankfully, on the way here, Brooklyn stopped by Academy and picked up this guy for me. I think it's going to be a handy addition to the camper, having this little puppy right here. So it's like we can just set that over the fire, and do some direct fire cooking with that piece right there. So we're going to give that a try tomorrow maybe. So no cooking over the fire tonight, because just ain't got it right. I think cooking over the fire is going to require me to have a fire for a little while to get some good nice coals there, some good heat. So we're not quite ready tonight for all that, but tomorrow we will be. Tonight we're going to come in here on the Blackstone, got some veggies. All you see is broccoli there. We got squash, Brussels sprouts, onions in there, some sausage here. We're going to throw those on the Blackstone there and make it happen. So it's just been me and the boys for the most of the day. Brooklyn had to go into work this morning. That's the good thing about only being an hour and a half away from home. She had to go in for a little bit. She just got back and taking the boys on a little walk. And I'm playing around with some over the fire cooking. I'm a complete novice at this. Been grilling a lot all my whole life on a Weber. Never did this over the fire stuff. But let me show you what I got going on. So I showed y'all last night this little thing Brooklyn bought me that basically sits over the fire here so you can cook over it. And the only downside is not really adjustable, so you got to be careful how much heat you shove underneath there, but I'm playing with it, getting it right. We got some baby back ribs here that look like they're ready to be eat. I took the rack and sliced it in half just so I could move it around the grill a little better. So those look like they're close to being done. And right here, we got some dried lima beans in there cooking. And we're just gonna let them kind of slow roll in there. I put some ham hock in the bottom there and kind of seared it up a little bit, and then put those lima beans, I had them soaking in water and then overnight, and then put them in there. But pretty happy with how the ribs look so far. Got a nice little crust on them there, and I think that's gonna be some fine eating. All right, before we try to make anybody else eat them, let's see if these over the fire ribs are fitting to eat here. Let them rest for a little while. They're still a little warm. Let's just take 1/2 of this rack here and cut us a rib. Now everybody kind of likes ribs a little different, but I don't like, quote, fall off the bone ribs. If the bone pulls right out, that's usually an indication that somebody boiled the ribs, or they kind of cheated a little bit. I like my ribs on the bone, but nice and tender to come off the bone when you chew it. Let's give it a try without any sauce first. Daggum. That ain't bad right there. That ain't bad at all. I had my doubts that they wasn't going to be as good as when I do them at home on the Weber, but that's pretty good stuff right there. Let's try some of this right here. I got this at the store before I came, some local barbecue sauce called Doc's. We'll give that a little dip in there and see how that makes it. Yep. A little Doc's in here. Oh yeah, that's definitely going to be a repeat thing I do right there. I think cutting the rack in half was important because it give us room. That grate wasn't huge. We also rubbed them down overnight. I pulled the membrane off the back of the baby backs there, rubbed them down, and just kind of some all-purpose, you know, barbecue season or whatever, and let that sit on them overnight. And that ain't half bad there. I always get confused when some people claim it takes them half a day or all day to cook a rack of ribs, and You can cook a good rack of ribs, a good tender rack of ribs in just an hour and a half or so a lot of times. And that's pretty much all it took on these guys. Oh yeah. I think the wife and kids are gonna love them when they get back if I don't eat them all beforehand. Okay, so we had pretty good success with doing the ribs open fire yesterday. So today we're gonna try some chicken on here. Got this puppy right here, got some good coals underneath here. Come in a little closer, honey. And the one thing I hadn't really figured out is how to get it not so hot. That's pretty hot right there. Almost feels like it needs to cool down a little bit, but maybe I can stir it around. Let me show you what we got over here. Well, we're gonna do whole chickens, but I was at the store and they had these right here, which are half chickens. So basically you got a leg, quarter, a wing, and a breast all in one piece there. So that's what we're gonna try. We're gonna get these on there, and we'll keep you updated how it looks when they get close to being done. Well, our chicken halves have been over the open fire for about 2 hours now. Let's take a look at what we got. So here we go. These puppies look nice and ready. Got a little char on them there. The coals got a little hot on me, but nothing wrong with that. If somebody don't like that, they can pull that skin off of there. I have realized that with this setup right here that there has to be an intermediary or intermediate step of using the tinfoil, because this thing just is not that high off the ground, and when you put coals underneath there, it just gets so hot that, especially with chicken halves like this, they're gonna get too brown or get too much char on them before they're done in the middle. So we put them on here, let them kind of char up a little bit, put them in the tin foil, wrap them up, set them on there, let them kind of finish cooking, and then put them back on here to add kind of a last little bit of crisp. We did this with the ribs yesterday and it worked pretty good, and worked pretty good today with the chicken halves. I've also learned to kind of just keep my main fire over here, and then as I get some little bitty coals busting off those logs there, I can just kind of push them underneath there and kind of control my heat a little bit. So good bit of a learning curve here, and I have certainly not mastered it yet, but happy with my results so far on the over the fire cooking. We're getting ready to eat some of these boogers right here, and we got a little, let me show you over here, got a little yellow rice right here that's going to be pretty good with that chicken. Going to be good supper time here on the campsite.